Welcome aboard, Skylark Outdoors here, and today we are reviewing the Parker 21 SE boat, which we've got right here, and we're going to take you on a tour of this boat. So this one is outfitted with, as you can see, a trolling motor integrated in there with that anchor storage locker, which I really like. And these all have a slightly different layout based on the year, but what you're going to typically see is a center console with two seats, and then two rear seats in the back, and then you've got a seat in front of the console that fits two people, as well as kind of a little seat right in the bow area. So here on this center console, I would say it's pretty bare bones. However, you get a high quality boat for what you're getting. Now the Parker 21 SE will just give you a tour of this, and then I'm going to go through some of the specifications, but this is a great bay boat. You could take this offshore in a lighter day, and then what you've got on the back here is you can have either a 150 or 200 horsepower motor. They've got a Yamaha on the back here, but that's up to your personal preference what you're going to outfit it with. But you can see plenty of rod holders. They've got some rod holders built into the back of the center console here. They've got two seats, and those seat backs fold down, so if you want to use it more as a fishing platform, you can. Now, the one thing that I do like about this boat is that it's just simple, right? It's going to be easy to maintain. It's going to be easy to be able to go out and fish on this, wash down, clean it up. It's got really nice high gunnels on it. And then you've got a very simple center console here with the switches, throttle controls, steering wheel, everything you need to have a good day out on the water. And then you've got your Garmin touchscreen GPS, marine radio, and a couple engine monitors right there. And then I do like just how they've got everything set up with the rod holders and plenty of space there for storage underneath. If you want to have a gaff or a couple rods, you could outfit it like that. And then you've got the bolsters on the seat, a little radio, plenty of shade. And then this one doesn't have the seat in the front. It's got the fishing platform, I believe, in the front, but there is one that has a seat that's more forward rather than kind of like the fishing platform and anchor locker. So you can get a little seat right here up in the front. This one is set up more for fishing. However, depending on the year and some of the specifications you can get from this and the factory, you can make those changes. So here you see we've got enough room for a little porta potty in here if you need to use a restroom. You've got all your wiring, battery shut off, everything right there. So easy to access if you want to add live scope or something else to this. No problems with that. Now, what I like about this boat is its simplicity. Some things that I would like to see, and there are things that you could add or have factory options installed. Bigger fish cooler, live well, stuff like that. I think that would be a great addition, and you can usually choose those options if you wanted to have a little bit more storage. But part of the thing that you're limited to with this particular boat is that it does have such a shallow draft that you are not going to be able to add too much to it just because of what you're drafting, which is 10 inches. So if you look at this as a bay boat that has the capability to go offshore when you want to, I think that's where this thing really fits in. You can get into skinny water, no problems. So if I was fishing a shallow bay, or maybe I was in the Keys and I wanted to have access to some of those areas where you've got very shallow and skinny water to get into, this thing actually checks a lot of boxes compared to what you would consider a traditional bay boat, just because I believe this has a little bit more offshore capability. I wouldn't want to be taking this 200 miles offshore or anything like that. But for those days that you want to go out a couple miles, get to the Gulf Stream, get to your fishing spot, your reef, whatever, this thing will do the job, just the hull design, construction, and the weight of it. So for a 21-foot boat, this is what might surprise you. This thing weighs in at 3,931 pounds. 9,000 pounds would be a lot. So it weighs in at 3,931 pounds. That is much heavier than typical bay boats of this size at 21 feet. You're probably going to see a lot of 21 footers right in that 2,000 to 2,500 pound range. So you are getting a heavier duty, heavier constructed hull and hull shape out of the Parker 21 SE than you would typically find in this boat. So where is your money going on this boat? It is no frills, but a solid hull. and that's what you're getting out of this Parker boat. Now, you could add all the frills and all that stuff back in, but what you're getting is a good platform to start with and then go from there. So the Parker 21 SE, you're looking at 21 feet and 2 inches. That's the overall length. You've got a 95-gallon fuel capacity, so that is, in my opinion, a great fuel capacity for this size boat. That's going to give you a pretty significant range with 150 or 200 horsepower outboard on there. So that's pretty amazing. They are making it a capable boat where you're going to be able to, if you want to cruise around the Keys, you want to cruise around the intercoastal, you want to cruise around the bay, you're not going to be worried about range with this particular boat. So you've got a 200 horsepower max rating. You can get to 150 or 200, whatever you want. You've got an 8'6" beam, and I would go with the 200 on this. The price differential, I think, when I looked at this just online, and every dealer's different, I think the 200 horsepower kind of standard Parker, you were looking right around 55 or something of that nature, and then for the 200 horsepower, you were looking at like 63-ish. Now that's just going to change with time. And then you've got different options, like if you want that front seating area on this or not. You've got 8'6" beam and a 10-inch hull draft, so that's where this thing excels, is skinny water. You've got 3,931 pounds is the boat, and then you've got a 9-passenger capacity, and then you do have that head in the console, that porta potty, so that's nice. I think if I was getting one of these outfitted, I would get that seat up in the front. I think that's a great extra. I'd see what they could do about some fish box storage, or you could just decide you're not going to go that way, and then you could go with bags or something like that. Plenty of room in the back deck to throw some bags on there. So that is an option. And then also maybe something, I don't know if they'll do it or not, but some kind of like tackle storage underneath the seat there, or you could just consider that where you're going to put your bags and a cooler. So you got a lot of different options. And then maybe if you could get like a live well or something underneath one of the seats, I think that would be potentially worth it there. And then you've got a little swim platform in the back. In this layout in the rear, it looks like there's a couple options for the layout in the rear where you've got kind of a raised area back there. However, for landing fish, I do like that they've got the cutout there so you can pull a larger fish through that a little bit easier. You might actually like that, but I believe there is a way that you can customize it from the factory or order it from the factory, or different years where you kind of have a little bit of a seat and containment there. And I think actually that's one of the options for the live well. If you get the live well, it kind of creates almost like a little seat or a flat top right there. So overall, cool boat. I like the fact that you've got a heavy hull on this, but a very shallow draft. When you think about the physics of that and displacement, I really like that idea. I like the high gunnels on this for the size of boat, so that you're going to have a little bit drier ride, as well as you could take this out to fish wherever you want to go. And then 9-person capacity is also pretty good for a 21-foot boat. A lot of them will hover around 7 or 8. 9 people, that's pretty good. So thanks for watching this review of the Parker 21 SE boat. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us that thumbs up, subscribe, and click any links below if you want to support us. We'll see you next time.